Sheng Siong is spending about 520 million Singapore dollars on a new headquarters and distribution center. That is the supermarket chain's largest investment so far. But the bigger question is not how impressive the building will look. It is whether a much larger and more automated warehouse can help keep groceries available and affordable in Singapore. Sheng Siong broke ground on the new facility in Sungei Kadut on Monday, July 13th. The 7-story complex will cover more than 61,000 square meters. That makes it roughly 2.5 times the size of the company's existing warehouse at Mandai Link. Construction is expected to be completed in 2029. Once operational, the facility will be able to support more than 120 Sheng Siong stores across Singapore. The chain currently has 90 outlets. That extra capacity gives the company room to open around 30 more stores before reaching the stated support limit. However, this project is not simply about expansion. It is also about changing how groceries are stored, moved, and delivered. The new center will use automated storage and retrieval systems. Robots will assist with warehouse operations. Intelligent management technology will track inventory and coordinate the movement of goods. Different temperature zones will also allow chilled, frozen, and room temperature products to be handled within the same complex. Sheng Siong Chief Executive Lim Hock Chi said the company studied warehouse and automation systems in Europe, China, and Australia before designing the facility. He expects it to become one of Southeast Asia's most advanced automated grocery distribution centers. That sounds like a major step towards machines doing more of the work. But Sheng Siong says the plan is not to remove workers. Instead, employees currently doing manual warehouse duties may be retrained for roles such as system operation and equipment maintenance. This distinction matters. Automation does not always mean that every job disappears. In many cases, the physical work is reduced, while demand grows for people who can supervise technology, respond to faults, and keep complex systems running. Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim-yong said automation could free workers from repetitive and manual duties. Those employees could then be moved into areas where they provide greater value. That is the ideal outcome. But successful retraining will depend on whether workers receive enough time, support, and practical training to move into these new positions. Operating an automated warehouse requires different skills from working in a traditional one. Some workers may adapt quickly. Others may need more structured help. So the real test will come closer to 2029, when the facility starts operating and Sheng Siong begins moving staff into redesigned roles. There is another layer that may matter even more to customers. Singapore imports about 90% of its food. That leaves the country exposed when international supply chains are disrupted. Geopolitical tensions can delay shipments or increase transport costs. Climate change can damage harvests and reduce supply. Higher energy prices can raise the cost of farming, refrigeration, shipping, and food production. A disruption thousands of kilometers away can eventually affect what shoppers see on supermarket shelves. A larger distribution center cannot remove those global risks, but it may give Sheng Siong more flexibility in managing them. With more storage space, the company may be able to buy larger quantities when supply and prices are favorable. It may also be able to plan inventory further ahead instead of depending as heavily on frequent deliveries. That could reduce the risk of certain products running low during short-term disruptions. Buying at greater scale may also improve Sheng Siong's negotiating position with suppliers. However, a bigger warehouse does not automatically guarantee cheaper groceries. Food prices are still influenced by currency movements, global commodity prices, wages, transport costs, and supplier charges. The new center should therefore be seen as a tool for improving efficiency and stability rather than a promise that prices will fall. Its strongest impact may be less visible. Better inventory tracking could reduce overordering. Automated storage could shorten the time needed to locate and move products. Temperature controls could lower the risk of food being damaged through improper storage. More efficient operations may help contain costs that could otherwise be passed on to shoppers. That is important because supermarkets operate on volume. Small savings on storage, handling, and delivery can become significant when repeated across thousands of products and dozens of outlets. The location in Sungei Kadut also reflects a longer-term strategy. Sheng Siong is building for a future in which it serves more neighborhoods, handles more goods, and relies on faster data-driven decisions. The investment suggests the group expects physical supermarkets to remain important, even as online grocery shopping continues to develop. Online orders still depend on warehouses, inventory, and delivery networks. In that sense, the facility could support both traditional stores and future changes in how customers buy groceries. Sheng Siong also wants the center to become a place where suppliers, other businesses, and organizations can learn about warehouse automation. That could make the project more than an internal upgrade. It may become a working example of how Singapore companies can introduce technology without immediately treating manpower as disposable. The most balanced view is that this investment creates both opportunity and responsibility. Sheng Siong may gain more capacity, better efficiency, and stronger control over its supply chain. Customers may benefit from steadier product availability and costs that are managed more effectively. Workers may gain access to more technical positions, but those outcomes will depend on execution. The technology must work reliably. Retraining must lead to real jobs. Efficiency gains must be sustained over time. And any savings must be large enough to matter in a market where external costs remain difficult to control. The $520 million price tag makes this a major corporate investment. Its wider significance is what it reveals about Singapore's food system. Keeping groceries affordable is no longer only about finding the lowest price supplier. It increasingly depends on storage capacity, technology, skilled workers, and the ability to prepare for disruptions before they happen. Do you think large investments in automation will eventually help Singapore households save money, or will global food costs continue to outweigh those gains? Share your views in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to 2230.